Good morning, one and all. Welcome to your TSN English class. Today, we'll start the second poem from your book, Flamingo. That is an elementary school classroom in a slum. And this poem, or the poet of this poem, is Stephen Spender. Before starting with this poem, I would like to tell you about something about the writer of the poem, that is Stephen Spender. In 1909, 1995 was an English poet and essayist. He stopped going to university college, Oxford, without taking a degree and reached Berlin in 1930. So, who was Stephen? Stephen was an English poet and an essayist at the same time. उन्होंने यूनिवर्सिटी जाना बंद कर दिया, ऑक्सफोर्ड विदाउट टेकिंग अ डिग्री एंड रीच्ड बर्लिन इन 1930। और उसके बाद वो कहाँ चले गए? बर्लिन। कहाँ? कब? 1930 में। स्पेंडर वॉज इंटरेस्टेड इन पॉलिटिक्स एंड डिक्लेयर्ड हिमसेल्फ टू बी सोशलिस्ट एंड पेसिफिस्ट। स्टीफन उसके बाद जो है पॉलिटिक्स में बहुत इंटरेस्ट रखते थे, दैट इज़ वाई ही became a socialist and pacifist. His books include poems of dedication. So basically, the books of Stephen contain what? The poems based on dedication. The edge of being the creative element, the struggle of the modern, and an autobiography, world within world, in the elementary school classroom in a slum. His works revolves around the theme of social injustice and class inequalities. So here, Stephen's Spender. He just focus on what? On the struggle of, like, you can say that how the slum people or social injustice. So his basic focus is on class inequalities, like that. So this is a picture of slum children, how they study and how they enjoy their classroom. And as an introduction, have you seen a classroom in a slum area? What does it look like? क्या आप लोगों में से कभी किसी ने कोई क्लासरूम एरिया देखा है, स्लम एरिया का क्लासरूम देखा है? If yes or if not, then here are some pictures for you. So Stephen Spender believed in communist and socialist ideals and practiced them in his daily life. So he was a like communist or socialist person. So, have you ever got any chance to visit to see an elementary school in Assam, and what type of school is it, if there is a school? So, let's read the poem, and here allow these children to go out of these slums so that the maps on the walls of the classroom become a reality for them. The sunny warm sand of the beaches and the bright blue sky will instill a hunger for knowledge in their minds. Then these children will become economically empowered. That means, or these lines means that if अगर हम स्लम चिल्ड्रन को या ऐसे बच्चों को अलाउ करें जिन्होंने एजुकेशन, और यू कैन से दैट एलिमेंट्री बेस, या जिनके पास बिल्कुल प्राइमरी एजुकेशन भी नहीं है, ऐसे बच्चों को हमको एजुकेशन प्रोवाइड करानी चाहिए और हमको उनके लिए कुछ करना चाहिए, सो दैट द चिल्ड्रन विल इकोनॉमिकली एम्पावर्ड. सो इसी से जो हमारा देश है, चिल्ड्रन है, या जो हमारी इकोनॉमी है, वो स्ट्रॉन्ग होगी. दोज हु मेक्स हिस्ट्री आर द वंस हु शाइन लाइक द सन. जिन्होंने हिस्ट्री बनाई है. सो दिस इज लाइक अ कोटेशन हियर. सो the poet looks at the grim conditions prevailing at the primary school in a British slum. He calls on the authorities to do something to lift these children from their situation of educational squalor to a world of real literacy and learning. So basically, the focus here, or the poet focus here on what? To slum people or slum children who are not educated, or you can say they are illiterate. So his focus is to educate them, or to give them at least primary level of education. So let's read our poem, that is page number 93 of your book, Flamingo. An elementary school classroom in a slum. So I have already read this about the poet for you people. And let's read the poem from here with this stanza. That is the first stanza of the poem. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weeds, the hair toned round their paler, the tall girl with her weighed down head, the paper seeming boy with red eyes, the stunned unlucky here of twisted bones, reciting a father grant disease, his lesson from his desk at back of the dim class, one unrooted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of squirrel game in a tree room other than this. So, what is there in this particular stanza? That this is a scene of, you can say that, of an elementary school where the poet sees children who looks like wild plant without roots. So here in this line जो भी ये लिखा हुआ है that rootless weed. So what are weeds? Weeds are like wild plants. So this is a scene of an elementary school where the poet sees children who look like wild plants. सो ये ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो आपको वाइल्ड प्लांट्स की जैसे लगेंगे विदाउट रूट्स, जिनकी कोई रूट्स नहीं है. एंड देयर हेयर इज स्केटर्ड, और उनके बाल बिखरे हुए हैं. हियर इज अ टॉल गर्ल हु हैज़ वेड डाउन हर हेड, द थिन बॉय हु हैज़ रैट आइज. सो बच्चों के फिजिकल अपीयरेंस बताई जा रही है. अ क्रिपल्ड बॉय हु इज़ टेलिंग अबाउट द डिजीज ऑफ हिज फादर, एक बॉय है जो अपने फादर की डिजीज़ बता रहा है. There in the end of the class, a young boy is sitting who is dreaming of the play of squirrel on the tree. And move on to next one. And here जो है पूरा क्लासरूम कैसा है, बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं क्लासेस में, कैसा जो है स्लम एरिया के एलिमेंट्री स्कूल का क्या हाल है या कैसे वो लोग एजुकेशन गेन करते हैं. दिस इज़ देयर कंडीशन ओवर देयर. सो ऑन sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare head, cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities, belled flowery. Then there is a name of valley, Trellis Valley. The teacher open-handed map, awarding the world its world, and yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world, where all their future planted with a fog. So what does these lines mean? That on sour cream walls, here sour cream walls means the color of the walls is not properly white, or you can say that the walls are in bad condition. So here with this word like on sour cream walls, donation, Shakespeare head, this means that the picture of Shakespeare shows the literature which these children cannot understand because they have not been taught it. And building with domes is also invisible in their lives as they live in slums, and world maps are total strange thing for them, as for them slum area is a whole world, so world map has no importance in their life. And sour cream here means refers to the white color, like which is not pleasant to look at, and the poet has used this expression to describe the white classroom walls because he wants to signify that classroom walls are of white color and but still they look ugly. So this is here like sour cream walls and donations, say Shakespeare heads. Cloudless at dawn, civilized dome, riding all cities, belt flowery. So here let's move on to next line of this stanza, that the walls are in bad condition, and here Shakespeare had cloudless morning या civilized dome is seen throughout the city. ऐसा city का नज़ारा है with the ringing of bell and scent of flowers. सब जगह बेल की आवाज़ सुनाई दे रही है और फूलों की खुशबू. इन दिस क्लास विच इज़ लाइक अ ट्रायलीज वैली, बट ये एक ऐसी क्लास है जो बिल्कुल एक शांत वादी की जैसे लग रही है. द टीचर इज़ टीचिंग द चिल्ड्रन अबाउट द वर्ल्ड हु देमसेल्व्स मेक वर्ल्ड. टीचर ऐसे बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा है जिन्होंने, एक वर्ल्ड होना अलग बात होती है, जिन्होंने अपना एक खुद का मैप वर्ल्ड बना लिया है. सो योर वर्ल्ड मीन्स योर that when it comes to slum area, so slum area is the whole world, so world map has no importance in their life. slum area वाले बच्चों का अपना एक वर्ल्ड होता है, तो उनके लिए वर्ल्ड मैप की इतनी इम्पोर्टेंस नहीं है. so the teacher is teaching the children about the world themselves make world, and yet for these children the windows of the room in their world, not their teacher. They see out, so they see out outside where their future is painted with fog. They live in such places which has been already taken far away from the star of words. So next, students, let's move on to next page, that is page number 93. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. Let me check it once. Yes. So a narrow street sealed with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes, and star of words. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map is a bad example, with ships and sun and love tempting them to steal for lives that sillily turn in their cramped holes from fog to endless night. On their slag heap, these children wear skin peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottles bits on stones. All of their time and space are foggy slum, so blot their maps with slum as big as tomb. So here definitely Shakespeare should be called wicked here, because teaching is a bad example. These children are tempted to steal because they of their love for ships and sun, and they sleep in their huts. And these children are so weak that their bones are coming out from their skin, because they don't get proper nutrition. And according to the census, out of so many children, they are like malnutritious when it comes to India. So these children are so weak that their bones are coming out from their skin. They spend all their lives in foggy slums. So slums, which is actually a doom, should be removed. कि इस तरीके की ये चीज़ें हटाई जानी चाहिए. सीइंग दिस मैप, गवर्नर, इंस्पेक्टर एंड विजिटर will visit them, and the map will be their window, and this window will close as if it. So basically the poet, he's trying to describe the situation, the condition of the slum children, that how they live in their areas and what is the condition of their, like you can say that झोपड़ी. तो यह वो कह रहा है कि गवर्नर, इंस्पेक्टर या जितने भी लोग हैं, तो उनको भी थोड़ा भाषा का जो है वो उनको भी पता होना चाहिए, उसका बारे में नॉलेज होनी चाहिए. Let's move on to the last stanza of the poem, that is, unless governor, inspector, visitor, these maps become their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs, break, oh break, open till they break the town, and show the children to green fields, and make their world run azure on gold sands, and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and green leaves open history there, whose language is the sun. So here you can say that the poet of the chapter, or the poet of this poetry, he tried to convey us that seeing this map, or seeing this that map, governor, inspector and visitor will visit them, and the map will be their window, and the window will close as if it और अगर ये विंडो बंद हो जाए तो it was like a catacombs, and we should teach them, least they will spread throughout the town. They should be taught about green fields to make their world run azure on gold sands here. So they should be allowed to read the books loudly. They will read about the history of those books, whose language the sun. So here students, azure here means blue. So basically blue के को यहाँ कहा जा रहा है कि मेक देयर वर्ल्ड रन अज्योर ऑन गोल्ड सेंस, कि उनका जो वर्ल्ड है दैट इज़ ऑल्सो, जो ये अज्योर यानी ब्लू कलर जो है उसे हमें देखना चाहिए किस तरह सेंड पे। दे शुड बी अलाउड टू रीड द बुक्स लाउडली, उन्हें भी अलाउ किया जाना चाहिए कि वो बुक्स को लाउडली रीड करें। सो हियर द पोएट wants improvement in the lives of the children of the slums. So he wants them to get better surroundings, or you can say that, and better opportunities to study. That is why he mentioned each and everything here in this poem or in this stanza, that how to give them elementary education in a better way, and how we can improve their economical condition. So students, here this is your poem and it is over here now. So let's read this, like how many metaphors, similes, alliteration and symbols are there. So metaphor, their homes are very small like holes. So this is a like crammed hole word is like a metaphor. From fog to endless night, like future of the children. So this is one metaphor. Weird skin peeped through by bones is like emaciated bodies. Simile, like bottle bits on stones. And alliteration, use of F sound from fog. And symbol, ships is the ship symbol, the word ship, it symbolizes like adventure, beautiful lands. Sun is the enlightenment and purity. As you can see that in the last paragraph or last stanza of the poem, history there, whose language is the sun. So sun means then in their lives there is a need of enlightenment, purity, and map with slum as big as doom, the grim reality. So जो मैप है उससे ज़्यादा उनका जो डूम है, सो रियलिटी में उनको देखने की ज़रूरत है. सो स्टूडेंट्स, let's read the key points of the poem. The children in the slums are far from resembling the mighty waves of the sea and are instead like rootless weeds, frail, vulnerable, and malnourished children. I have already told you that of children in the classroom is miserable. One, the girl stand with her bow down head is a boy is thin that he looks as if made of paper. So ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो इतने माल न्यूट्रिशंस हैं कि उनकी बोन्स जो हैं उनकी स्किन से बाहर आ रही हैं. The small dingy classroom is stuffed with donation bust of Shakespeare, a painting of beautiful tireless valley and a map. However, the windows of classroom present a different sight, the far from perfect world they live in, with its lead sky and dirty surrounding. And lines of Shakespeare like art, culture, the map, all are bad examples of the world as they don't correspond to the real conditions. Condition the kids live and might lead them to commit crimes by tempting them with false promises. And your living condition of children must be improved by educating them need before they live give a book. Poem appeals to opportunities like either improvement the economic state of children or allow them to enjoy sounds, sights of nature, have a happy childhood in meantime. So this is your poem here. The theme is like social justice, and we need to improve the living condition of children in slum. So this is a free verse poem, the form of the poem. The literary devices are like far far, that is repetition here. Similes like rootless feet, alliteration, ship, sun, and I have already told you about each and everything. So till then students, thank you.